Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 50. I'm John Cooney, here to talk to you about comics released the 16th of January 2013, beginning with my first 5, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, beginning with at number 1, X Factor number 250. First of all, an update on Peter David's condition. He's recovering 2 weeks after suffering a stroke and is now able to walk forward and backward with assistance at the Rehabilitation Center in Florida. His wife Kathleen wrote last week that, quote, he's working on balance and trying to get his right leg to cooperate with what he wants it to do. There was a minor setback with the arm that is being worked on. He does have a better range of motion than he has had since all this started, so we're cautiously happy about it, but he has a long way to go, close quote. She also encouraged fans to send him cards and assorted well wishes to Peter David, care of Second Age Inc., is incorporated, P.O. Box 239, Bayport, New York, 11705. She added, quote, I can honestly say I won't be doing as well without your support. Both Peter and I are touched and humbled by the outpouring of good wishes, close quote. And I certainly wish him well and hope for a speedy recovery. Now, as far as X Factor, we finally come to the landmark issue 250, as the year of X Factor stories culminates here in the first part of a Hell on Earth war. The various Hell Lords battle for domination in a war that was triggered by the 7 billionth soul born on Earth, and only X Factor can avoid the entire world going up in flames. This is the beginning of the end for X Factor as you know it. Now, this special milestone issue not only marks the 250 issues of X Factor, but also 100 consecutive issues by Peter David, and features a variant cover by Clay Mann with an amazing collection of characters spanning the entire history of the title. At number 2, we've got Batman number 16, Death of the Family Continues. Batman heads into the showdown with the Joker as the Madman's plan is finally revealed in Arkham Asylum. It all leads into next month's terrifying conclusion, and in the backup story, in the midst of the Joker's assault on Batman and his allies, get a secret glimpse into what started the Crown Prince of Crime on his horrifying journey. Series writer Scott Snyder spoke recently about his use of Arkham Asylum. Quote, for us, Arkham is something different. What Joker is planning has much more to do with him being the king returning home to a castle than it does with him belonging there as a patient or someone who's crazy. It's really sort of Joker saying, this is where your true family is, not because you're crazy and you should be institutionalized, but because they're family. You love them and they love you. This is your fortress. So what he's done to the place, I don't want to give away at all, but it's definitely some of the most twisted stuff that I've written. I was saying before that I was putting visual references in for Greg when I was working at the library, and I had to leave because I was afraid someone would see me pulling all these gruesome things online. My favorite thing about Arkham Asylum is the backstory. As much as I love the feature with Batman going in to stop the Joker, it's the story of Arkham family that I find most haunting. And that sense of this place is where your worst fears come to life when you're alone with yourself. That much is certainly true here. Close quote. At number 3, we've got Batgirl number 16, Death of the Family Continues here as well. In this issue, you're invited to the wedding of Barbara Gordon and the Joker. The entire Gordon family is on hand for the most terrifying nuptials of all time. Now, as far as behind the scenes of Batgirl, after a substantial backlash from fans over the recent firing of longtime writer Gail Simone, DC has now reversed their decision and brought her back to the title. Simone tweeted the news to her fans by saying, quote, here's the thing, Gail Simone is the new Batgirl writer, adding subsequently, thank you DC for the privilege and thank you everyone who wanted this to happen. Simone has confirmed on Tumblr that interim writer Ray Fox will continue with issue 17 and 18 and she'll return for issue 19. At number 4, we've got Saga number 9, written by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples with the simple solicit, quote, the will finally has a good day, close quote. Vaughan spoke about the book at New York Comic Con and said, quote, I always loved sci-fi or fantasy, but I had friends who liked one or the other. It's all fakey make-believe. Can't we all just get along and realize we're all just fakey make-believe? Close quote. As far as long-range plans for the book, Vaughan said, quote, I hope it'll be very long if you guys don't get sick of it and Fiona doesn't kill herself for me, close quote. Adding that his goal for the series is to do one more issue than The Walking Dead, quote, just to spite Kirkman. I can outlive that bastard, close quote. When asked about the potential for a Saga movie, Vaughan responded, quote, the big appeal of optioning things is getting a lot of cash money. That part is cool and I'm happy to sell out. Beyond that, I don't really care. My ideal director for Saga is Fiona, and my ideal cast are the ones that Fiona draws. The comic is a destination. It's not a blueprint for something else. It's not like I watch Breaking Bad and think, I wish someone would make a painting of this, close quote. At number 5, we've got Savage Wolverine number 1. Wolverine awakes to find himself transported to the Savage Land and labeled Public Enemy number 1, with no memory of how he got there, and Shauna the She-Devil his only ally. Logan must unravel a mystery and slumbers at the heart of the savage land before it finds a way to kill him first. Series writer and artist Frank Cho discussed his double duty in a recent Q&A. Quote, Axel Alonso called me up after Avengers vs. X-Men Zero was launched and asked me if I wanted to work on Wolverine, which is a no-brainer since Wolverine is one of my favorite comic characters in the Marvel Universe. I asked who the writer was and Axel replied, "You are." I was speechless. Close quote. As far as the story, Cho said, quote, this isn't just a solo Wolverine story, it's actually a team-up with Shauna the She-Devil. Both Wolverine and Shauna have similar assertive personalities. The story is not just a quest to get home, it's a story about surviving each other's company and the Savage Land. It's a great jumping-on point for new readers. You really don't need to know too much back history of the character to follow and enjoy this story. I'm going to introduce brand new characters who may be very important down the road. Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 this week, I felt like it was a 5-way tie for number 6, but ultimately I chose All New X-Men number 6. David Marquez from Ultimate Comics Spider-Man takes the artistic reins for 3 issues as Brian Michael Bendis further defines the future of the X-Men. At number 7, we've got Avenging Spider-Man number 16, with the new creative team taking a new direction. The Superior Age begins. The all-new Superior Spider-Man teams with Wolverine and the X-Men, Christopher Yost from Scarlet Spider and X-Force, and Paco Medina from Ultimate X-Men begin a new Superior era for Avenging Spider-Man. At number 8, we've got Daredevil number 22. Daredevil teams up with the all-new Superior Spider-Man. Yes, America, we've heard your calls. Stiltman is back. Better than ever thanks to some last-minute help from Dr. Octopus. The Eisner and Harvey Award winner for Book of the Year continues. At number 9, we've got Batman and Robin number 16. Death of the Family continues. Has the Joker broken Damian? Has Batman's son met his fate at the hands of the Clown Prince of Crime? And at number 10, we've got New Avengers number 2, Everything Dies. The Illuminati gather to plan for the death of everything. Infinity Gems, Old Wounds, Lies, Agendas, and Universal Incursions. For the best of the rest this week from DC, we've got Ravagers number 8. Welcome new series writer Michael Allen Nelson from 28 Days Later. Rose Wilson and Warblade are hunting a rogue Ravager when it accidentally infects an entire community. What happens here will affect the future of the colony forever. We've got Suicide Squad number 16. After a torturous few missions, the team resets under Amanda Waller's watch. Something is terribly wrong under the surface. Power plays, ulterior motives, malfunctioning powers, and team members who don't stay dead. What's going on? We've got Superboy number 16. The Hell on Earth crossover event continues. Don't miss the assault on the Fortress of Solitude. Superboy and Superman turn to the Justice League for help to evict hell from Superman's own home. We've got Team 7 number 4. At last, the secret origin of Deathstroke. The team clashes with Eclipso and Slade Wilson. Witness the beginning of the Black Room from Justice League. We've got some final issues from DC this week. We've got Frankenstein, Agent of S.H.A.D.E. number 16, Grifter number 16, and Legion Lost number 16, all final issues for those series. Also canceled this month is Blue Beetle. So we know one replacement beginning in February will be the new Justice League of America, and we'll have to wait and see what other 3 books launch to take these titles' places. From Marvel this week, we've got Avengers Assemble number 11. Spider-Woman is totally safe locked in that box with the parasite-infected Hulk, right? Remember the time that Tony Stark said he hated trust falls? You knew that was going to come back. Yun Glong Han has done it. He's infected his Order of the Dragon initiates with next step evolutionary bacteria and built himself a super creepy and kind of gross army with which to conquer the world. We've got Captain America number 3, 1930, witnessed the birth of a legend. How did Steve Rogers, the 98-pound weakling, earn his courage? Now, with the fate of the world hanging on his victory, Captain America must defeat the barbarian Lord of the Frocks. Meanwhile, Aram Zola's plans move forward, cursing Steve Rogers for years to come. We've got Captain Marvel number 9, a perfect jumping-on point for fans new and old. Part 1 of a new story. Carol finally returns home, but is changed. What is weakening Captain Marvel's powers? Plus, Carol gets a job. Find out why Captain Marvel is being hailed as one of Marvel's best new series this year. We've got an Indestructible Hulk number 3, Hulk Agent of S.H.A.D.E. Hulk's first official mission, take down the all-new Quintronic Man. More on Banner's secret hold over S.H.I.E.L.D.'s director Maria Hill, and what and where is Bannertown, USA. We've got Punisher Nightmare number 3, again with the same solicit as previous weeks. It's a 5-part, 5-week Punisher event. A Special Forces soldier is injured and his family killed in the midst of a mob execution in Central Park. But this isn't Frank Castle. This time it's a young soldier named Jake Neiman. But the familiar story puts Frank on the path of punishment. As Jake Neiman heals from his wounds, why is he growing strangely stronger? And who is the mysterious Johnny Nightmare? Bullets fly, anarchy reigns, allies become enemies, and the Punisher becomes the punished, and no one is safe. We've got Ultimate Comics Iron Man number 4 of 4. Confronting threats of the present means dealing with the demons of the past in the final issue. Isolated in Asia, is there any hope for Iron Man? How does the Mandarin know Iron Man's every weakness? And what can the man in the armor do to defend himself against an enemy that knows him better than he knows himself? And we've got X-Men number 40, The End of an Era. What happens to a team when they lose the trust that binds them? From Dynamite Entertainment, this week we've got Bionic Man versus the Bionic Woman number 1. Steve Austin joins forces with the FBI to track down a mysterious, seemingly bionic serial killer. But when the Bionic Man disappears, only Jamie Summers has a chance to find him. But if their paths cross, will it be as friends, lovers, or mortal enemies? Welcome to Artificial, part 1 of 6. Nothing will ever be the same. And we've got Kevin Smith's The Bionic Man number 15. After leading a search and destroy mission to put an end to a long-forgotten evil, Steve finds himself in a life and death struggle with an army of bionic beasts. Steve has faced seemingly impossible odds before, but can he survive the madness he uncovers deep in the belly of the beast? Find out as the Secret of Bigfoot story arc reaches its epic conclusion. And from Valiant Entertainment, we've got Archer and Armstrong number 6. The all-new Geomancer must battle the wrath of the Eternal Warrior. Throughout all of human history, the sacred lineage of the Geomancers protected the Earth from all who would seek to do it harm. But now a new Geomancer has been chosen, and she's stuck keeping Archer and Armstrong out of harm's way. But why has Kay McHenry been selected to wield this exceptional power? And just what is her connection to the Eternal Warrior's blood vendetta? Only the Warrior knows for sure, but won't be answering until he's left Archer and Armstrong bloodied, broken, and brutalized by his own fist and steel. Plus, more of the Eternal Warrior's exploits throughout history revealed. And we've got Bloodshot number 7. In the beginning, Bloodshot, Harbinger Hunter. At last, discover Bloodshot's hidden history in the Valiant universe and why he's so crucial to its future. Recently, the mysterious Dr. Courage freed the unstoppable nanite-infused weapon known as Bloodshot and implied that the two of them shared a past of many, many secrets. Now get ready to finally find out how far back their twisted symbiotic relationship goes. Questions will be answers, alliances will be betrayed, and body counts will be tallied. It's a moment that cannot be missed and one that's essential to the next year of the Valiant universe. Out in trades this week, we've got Invincible Volume 17, What's Happening trade paperback. The new Invincible will not back down, will not give in, and he's not going to play nice. What happens when Mark Grayson isn't happy with his replacement? This title collects Invincible number 91 to 96. And from Marvel, we've got Avengers Assemble by Brian Michael Bendis hardcover, a perfect jumping on point featuring the cast of the blockbuster movie, but set in Marvel Universe continuity. When the new Zodiac rears its many heads, the Avengers must assemble to combat them. But who's behind the group's return? None other than Thanos, the Mad Titan, who has claimed Earth as his own. The Avengers team up with cosmic blockbuster the Guardians of the Galaxy to bring Thanos some cosmically charged pain. But can even these two mighty teams stop Thanos from making Earth into the throne world of his new empire? This explosive battle will change one of the Avengers' lives forever. Brought to you by Marvel architect Brian Michael Bendis. This style collects Avengers Assemble number 1 through 8. So that's it for this week, but there's still plenty more books available at your local comic book shop, so be sure to check in with them to see what else you might be interested in. You can also let me know if there's books that I'm overlooking on my Facebook page at he'sgotissues.com, where I track the books I read as I read them. You can also find me at theleagueofnerds.com, where David, Brandon, and I share everything in nerd entertainment. And remember that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.